topic, man. This is why it's very important, man, and when you're dealing with God, you take God serious in your life, man. You put your best foot forward with the power, man. And this is what the Lord told us what to do. Read this. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. That's the righteousness that Paul is talking about, man. How sometimes when you're ignorant of God's righteousness, you go and establish your own. You know what I mean? Topic, man. This is why it's very important, man, and when you're dealing with God, you take God serious in your life, man. You put your best foot forward with the power, man. And this is what the Lord told us what to do. Read this. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. That's the righteousness that Paul is talking about, man. How sometimes when you're ignorant of God's righteousness, you go and establish your own. You know what I mean? Scream, man, and I'm saved and sanctified through the blood. The thing about it is, you want to be saved from sin, man. You gotta be brought up on the right knowledge of God, the right knowledge, the right understanding. That's right. same topic, man. This is why it's very important, man, that when you're dealing with God, you take God serious in your life, man. You put your best foot forward with the power, man. And this is what the Lord told us what to do. Read this. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. That's the righteousness that Paul is talking about, man. How sometimes when you're ignorant of God's righteousness, you're going to establish your own. You know what I mean? Saved, man. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a shout for joy that you can just scream, man, and I'm saved and sanctified through the blood. The thing about it is, you want to be saved from sin, man. You gotta be brought up on the right knowledge of God, the right knowledge, the right understanding. That's right.
Giving all praise to the Most High and His Son. Shalom, family. Again, another praises, man, to the Most High God and our Lord and Savior. Back again, man, on another Wednesday. We got another beautiful class, man, for the people. Pens, pads, Bibles, brothers and sisters will be needed for this one. Today we're going to be talking about Lot. Okay? We have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, we have these key characters that are taught, you know, throughout the churches. And there are, when you read the Bible in a chronological order, there are a lot of more characters that we need to understand and know about. And one thing that is very pivotal for the people to understand that each character that's in the Bible is a reflection of yourself.
Break it out.
Every single person, every single situation. As the Bible is written to us in scriptures, in script form, as scriptures. And the scriptures are allegories filled with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to illuminate you or to enlighten you and to bring you from the dust of the ground and to meet God within the air or God in the clouds, as the Bible talks about. Today we're going to be talking about looking back and the similitudes and the parables between Lot and Abraham, our father Abraham, the father of all nations. Them splitting up and the similitudes of the flesh dealing with the spirit, the battle, and ultimately looking back and wanting to return to the life of pleasures and the life of sin, which it should, you know, mesmerize and it should relate to all Hebrews. This is going to be a good one. What we're going to do, family, we're going to go back up to the screen again. I got another one, pens and pads and Bibles. Family, make sure that you're writing. Make sure that you're writing most of this stuff down. Make sure that you putting these things together. I got another sermon put for you today. We're going to be putting it up on the screen here. And today, again, we're going to be talking about Lot. Today's title of the class is Lot, which is a righteous man who chose the wrong foundation. Looking back at the old life, looking back at the life that we once lived and how its punishment when you're on your way to the Most High God and you're on your way to Jerusalem, there is no ways and forms of looking back. We're going to the first section. What we're going to do, family, to start off the class, we're going to introduce Lot. Lot is not a character that is talked a whole lot about. Lot is not a character that is written in extensive form within biblical narrative, but it's very important for us to understand the story about how the story was, dealing with the flesh and the spirit, life and death, darkness and light. We're going to be introducing Lot. And again, we often preach about Abraham, which is the father of faith, but before we understand Lot's wife, or what the subject of the class is going to be about, looking back, we must understand Lot himself. And we must understand the story about Lot and understand how that story relates to all Hebrews, about that slow compromise of how we treat the Most High and His Son, tarrying to turn to the Lord with all of our heart, soul, and mind, walking by sight and not by faith, and ultimately being saved out of the fire to be able to walk within the Most High and His Son. Scroll down for us. One thing that we have to understand, family, to start off today's class is that Lot's story, when you open up the Bible and you first read about Lot, you think about Lot's story. We're talking about Lot, okay? And we're going to be talking about Lot's wife, and we're going to be talking about Egypt, Babylon, the flesh and the spirit. But when you're talking about Lot, Lot's story is the story of all Hebrews, okay? See, when you open up the Bible, Lot's story, it starts in one of the safest spiritual environments imaginable. Lot was traveling with the father of all nations, which is Abraham.
Bring it out.
Started off in the midst of the bosom of our father. Started off in the midst of the bosom of the father of all nations, which, like we were, being born in the Garden of Eden, being placed right directly underneath the authority of the Most High and His Son. Lot's story, when you open up the Bible and you first read about Lot, Lot gets introduced to biblical narrative, and in the safest spiritual environment imaginable, Lot is traveling with the father of all nations, Abraham. And it starts in Genesis 12. See, Lot was walking with Abraham. Lot witnessed God calling. He walks with the father of all nations, chosen by God. He shares in Abraham's blessing and prosperity. Scroll down a little bit. And when you're talking about Lot wealth, it increases because of the prosperity of the covenant. Just like how our wealth increases, how our blessings increasing, because we're walking in the presence of the Most High and His Son. We're talking about Lot. See, when you first read about Lot in the scriptures, Lot is in the perfect environment around the Father of all nations, around the congregations, around the multitudes of the people, witnessing the calling of the Most High and the Son, walking with Abraham, a man chosen by God, sharing the same blessings and prosperity as Abraham had. Lot's wealth increases just because of the prosperity that he had to the covenant of the Most High and the Son. And we have to understand that Lot's early success was inherited because of his blessings, like we all are. Okay? Put me back on the main screen. Lot's blessings was given to him as a birthright, as all Hebrews are. That's very important to know and to understand. And everything that Lot was given to him, at first, it was given to him because he was a child of the Most High God. Being adopted, inherited all of the blessings. And that was not because of what Lot did. It was because God blessed him with. As the Most High said that he rested on the seventh day. And on the seventh day he found those things good. And if you be obedient and you follow unto him, blessed shall be thy field. Blessed shall be thy storehouses. Blessed shall be thy womb. Blessed shall be thy basket. You see, all of us Hebrews, we were born in that. Put back on the screen. And this is the emphasis that we'll be starting off in today's class. And we scroll down a little bit, son. It says right here that many people, we begin our spiritual journey just like that. You see, sometimes, family, you might have praying parents who put you in these situations to where you are presented to where you can prosper. Sometimes, family, we might not even understand about the spiritual covering that your church may provide for you. I'm talking about being in the position of being with the Most High and being directly underneath the Most High's wings. That's the situation of what Lot started off with. You see, having those spiritual teachers to give you guidance and wisdom and counseling, that's a beautiful thing. Having that covenant being around you, you being placed under the tabernacles of the Most High and the Son, that's the most important thing when you're coming up into this walk. But the thing about it is, and what we're going to deal with Lot, and we're going to deal with the thing about this class is, borrowed faith, or faith that is, or the blessings that is inherited unto you. It must become and change from something that was inherited to you and something that was given to you. And it must change and it must convert into the faith that you really believe in the Most High and His Son. You put me back off on the screen, and we're going to start in the book of Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1. And that's the most important thing that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Lot. We're going to be talking about choosing the spiritual foundations in your life. Because the Most High has already blessed you from your womb. Not separating yourself from the covenant and the blessings of the Most High and choosing a fleshly foundation. Staying with the Father. Staying with the Father of all nations. Staying with the seed. Staying with the Word. Being a good soldier for the Most High and His Son. And ultimately, family, not looking back to that life that we once lived within Babylon, within the Assyrians, within the land of Canaan, within the land of Egypt, to where it consistently pulls you back and it don't want you to continue to walk forward. What we're going to do here is, family, we're going to introduce Lot on the scene. Brothers and sisters, Hebrews, you probably heard about Lot. Have you read about Lot? What we're going to do is we're going to start in the book of Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1 and really teach the people. Every character and every biblical character that you read about is a reflection of you in some way, shape, and form. That's the reason why it was written down for you. So you can get the knowledge and wisdom and understanding and pull those things. This story about Lot is culminating into one thing, and that's about choosing righteousness and not choosing flesh, or choosing faith, full belief and obedience in the Most High and the Son, and not choosing the things that you see with your own eyes. Continuing to press forward on the path of enlightenment and not looking back on the ways of Egypt.
Teach.
And this is something that all Hebrews go through. And this is a constant theme that you read in biblical narrative, in the biblical stories. It's that fight between death and life, that fight between life and death, the fight between ascension and descension. We in the book of Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1 read this.
Now the Lord has said unto Abram.
Now the Lord has said unto Abram, this is the call of Abram, calling him out of the land of Ur, which is the Chaldeans. Read.
Get thee out of thy country.
Get thee out of thy country, from your religion, from your religious practices and your religious studies, and the gods that you call on. Get thee out of thy country. Read.
And thy kindred.
And separate yourself from thy kindred. Read.
And from thy father's house.
And separate yourself from thy father's house of the false idol worship of the land of the Chaldeans. Read.
Into a land that I will shew you. And I will make of thee a great nation.
This is the call of Abram, making him a great nation. Read.
I will bless thee.
He will bless thee. Read.
And make thy name great.
Make the name of Abram be great throughout all nations. Read.
And thou shalt be a blessing.
And thou shalt be a blessing to the whole world. Read.
And I will bless them that bless thee.
Bless them that bless thee and choose to walk with thee and carry the seed which is life. Read.
And curse him that curses thee.
And judge them that choose not to walk in the faith but choose sight. Curse them that curse thee. Read.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
And the call of Abram said, thee, all the families of the earth be blessed. In his seed, the righteousness, which is the word. Read.
So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him.
Abram departed as the word spoken. Read.
And Lot went with him.
And who went with him?
Lot went with him.
See, now we getting introduced to Lot being on the scene, brothers and sisters. And Lot is walking directly with the Most High and the Son. Lot is directly walking with the man that is chosen. The covenant, the seed, the word.
That's right.
Right in the bosom. And that's how most of us Hebrews are. When we walking with the Most High and the Son, we don't know and understand the amount of mercy that He's put upon our life and given us another opportunity to be so close to Him. Right in the bosom. We got the Word of God sitting right in front of us, having an opportunity to hear the word of the Most High and the Son. the seed being passed down, and the covenant being given unto Abram, being so close to the righteous men of Israel, the righteous men being Hebrews, the righteous men of the covenant. Seeing the works, seeing the miracles, seeing the wonders. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. Read.
And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife.
Abram took his wife. Read.
And Lot his brother's son.
His brother's son. Read.
And all their substance that they had gathered.
All of their substance that they had gathered in the land of Ur. Read.
And the souls that they had gotten in Haran.
And the souls that they converted in the land of the Chaldeans. Read.
And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan.
And they pressed forth unto Jerusalem to the kingdom. Read.
And unto the land of Canaan they came.
In the book of Psalms chapter 17 and verse 8. You see, brothers and sisters, we have to understand that the Most High formed you in his image, created you in the midst of darkness, and he's with you, right beside you, right now. Don't separate yourself. Some of us right now, we in the midst of the congregation. Some of us right now, we in the midst of, spiritual brothers and sisters, and you have the opportunity to walk B-time by wisdom. You have the opportunity to stand close to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And this is what Lot was. This is how Lot grew up. This is how Lot was blessed with this type of a covenant, with this type of a blessing, to be so close to righteousness, so close to the Father of all nations, to be able to carry the seed passed down from generation to generations. We're talking about Lot. You see, these things, understanding that, brothers and sisters, that when you walk so close to the Most High, when you come into these tabernacles and these organizations, when you come into these camps, when you come into these churches, and you get in the righteous knowledge of the Most High and the Son, you are just as close as Lot was being to Abraham. Just as close. Right in the midst of the bosom. And the righteous thing would be to do is to humble yourself, and to be obedient, and to learn, and to absorb all the knowledge, and to implement these things into your life. Psalms 17 and verse 8. Read this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 8.
Read.
Keep me as the apple of the eye.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Read.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Read.
From the wicked that oppress me.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings from the wicked that oppress me. Read.
From my deadly enemies.
From the daily enemies and sin that compasses about me and fights against me daily. Read.
They are enclosed in their own fat.
We in the book of Psalms chapter 37 and verse 23. Brothers and sisters, you have to realize, man, that being in this position, being woken up to this knowledge, being woken up to this truth, you are being so close to the Most High and the Son. You're being brought back in right into the bosom, and the blessings are being bestowed upon you right now. Your footsteps are already ordered. You see, we read about in the last class how the Most High already did the work, and the only thing that we have to do to initiate the covenant is to be obedient. Your footsteps are already ordered. You just like Lot, you are walking next to righteous men. You are walking next to the covenant. You're seeing the miracles and the works of the Most High and the Son being put and bestowed you right in front of your face. You are being chosen and being elected to be initiated into light.
Bring it out.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's nothing to be played with. It's something to be grasped and to take serious and to hold on. We introducing Lot. It's very important that we get this introduction. Pens, pads, Bibles, brothers and sisters. Psalms 37:23. Read this.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord.
See, Hebrews, man, your steps are already ordered, brothers and sisters, whether if you believe it or not. Sometimes we go through things, ups and downs, just, man, falling 7 times. Sometimes we knuckleheads and we have to learn from our past mistakes. But being close to the covenant, you got the word of the Most High and the Son right here, right in front of you. You got the Bible. You have these things so close to you. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. The steps of a good man, the steps of a good woman are already put in place. The thing in the covenant to initiate it, you have to be obedient and listen. Read.
And he delighted in his way.
And he delighteth in his way. Read.
Though he fall.
See, sometimes, man, you go off of the path of the Most High. Read.
He shall not be utterly cast down.
He shall not be utterly cast. Read.
For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
Now, we're going back to the slide, brothers and sisters. Jump down to section too. See, what we wanted to put in, make sure that we set the scene is making sure that we understand that just like as Lot was, you can take me off, just like as Lot was, right? And when you hear me talking, going back and forth, you can switch between going back and forth. Just as Lot, being so close to Abram, right? Walking towards the Most High and His Son, being with Him, having a spiritual covering from day one, praying parents, strong churches, spiritual mentors, covenant environments. Having these things, brothers and sisters, being directly close to the Most High and His Son. You see, Abram with Lot had those things walking with Abram. Abram, a man of the Most High. Abram, a man that was being chosen to pass down the seed from generation to generation. Abram walking directly, getting direct orders from the Most High, being extolled and being initiated by Melchizedek to the next order of the new covenant. Beautiful thing. Witnessing the covenant of God. Walking, being chosen by a man of God. Sharing the blessings in Abraham. But the thing about it is, when we're talking about, and what we're going to show today is, Lot had this thing of being able to choose, between walking in the true faith of the Most High and His Son, or walking by sight. And what we're going to talk about right here in this section is there was conflict that arose between Abraham herdsmen and Lot herdsmen. And this is something that we're dealing with right now. This is something that all Hebrews, and why this story is so allegorical to all of our stories right now. We're walking directly with the Most High and His Son. We have the oracles. We have the commandments. We know exactly what to do, but to be obedient and to walk in the Most High and His Son. But then we get presented by that serpent and the flesh started talking to us.
Bring it out.
We're going to the book of Genesis, chapter 13 and verse 1. And we're going to explain this. We're talking about Lot. We're talking about a righteous man. We're talking about a man that was born with the zeal of the Most High and His Son. But when it was time for him to make the righteous choices to continue walk with the Most High and His Son, he chose sight instead of faith. We're talking about not looking back. We're talking about continuing to push forward in the sight of the Most High and His Son. Continuing to walk right down that middle path. Being faithful and being righteous with the Most High and His Son. Check this out. We in Genesis 13 and 1. Read this.
And Abram went out of Egypt.
And Abram was given the commandment to leave his father and mother's house out of the land of Ur of the Chaldeans. After being bestowed with the covenant of the Lord said that unto thy seed that He would give unto me, and He builded up an altar that He would pass down from generation to generation to be a father of all nations. Now commanded to be a steward of the Most High and His Son. From generation to generation, Abram took up and went on his path and went out of Egypt. Read.
He and his wife.
He and his wife went out of Egypt. Read.
And all that he had.
Everything and all of his possessions and all of the souls that he would converted to the Most High God of Israel and left out of Egypt. Read.
And Lot
with him. Read.
Into the south.
And they took on this journey, family. And this is this journey that we all must take down to the south, to the east, to the west, back up to the north. Your whole Sabbath day journey to enter into the Lord's rest. Read.
And Abram was very rich in cattle.
Abram was very rich in knowledge, understanding, the spiritual wisdom, having the covenants, having the similitudes and the parables. Abram was very rich in cattle. Read.
In silver and in gold.
Silver and gold. He was very rich in knowledge and had these things. Read.
And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai.
So Abram went to this journey, man, to convert souls and to back into the place of where he was in the beginning. Read.
Unto the place of the altar.
To the place of the altar. Read.
Which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord.
Keep reading.
And Lot also.
And Lot also was walking with Abram. Lot also. Listen how Abram went up doing the things and being obedient to the Most High and His Son, receiving the covenant. And Lot is right there with Abram, watching the covenant. Been to these places to where Abram pitched tent to pray and to meditate with the Most High and His Son. Seen the altar which he had first made. Seen the covenant being established with Abram. And this is these things and the blessings that we see within our own life, how the Most High doing these things for us. He's giving us class after class. He's giving us new moon after new moon, Sabbath after Sabbath, Passover after Passover. atonement after atonement. Seeing these things where the Most High placed his name and where the altar is and where the Lord called upon Abram to give him the covenant. And Lot also went with Abram. Read.
Which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents.
And Lot was also a great man of possession with flocks, herds, tents, much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, being brought up right alongside with Abram, being trained within the word of the Most High and his son. Read.
And the land was not able to bear them, and they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together.
Keep reading.
And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land.
And this is the struggle that we find ourselves as Hebrews a lot. And you see how the scripture says in verse 7 that there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. That's the strife that we deal with internally of what is represent is the strife between the flesh and the spirit.
Bring it out.
Because Abram is the father of all nations, is the progenitor of the seed of the word of God to be passed down. Abram represents that spirit. Abraham represents righteousness. And Abraham represents obedience, living unto the will of the word, doing the things that's pleasing unto the Most High and his Son. And then you have the strife that was between Lot's herdsmen, and that strife was the flesh.
Bring it out. Teach.
And that's one thing that we have to understand. That's what we deal with on a daily basis, is that contrast between the flesh and the spirit. And there was strife between Abram's cattle and Lot's cattle and the Canaanite that dwelt in the land. Read.
And Abram said unto Lot.
Abram said unto Lot, read.
Let there be no strife.
Let there be no strife. Read.
I pray thee, between me and thee.
Between me, thee, read.
And between my herdmen and thy herdmen.
Between mine herdsmen, thy herdsmen. Read.
For we be brethren.
Keep reading.
Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
We in the book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. We're talking about Lot. And you see this contrast between Lot's herdsmen and Abram's herdsmen. That sound real familiar, between the contrast between the spirit and the serpent. How, what fellowship does Christ have with Baal? Or what fellowship does a hyena have with a dog? Or what fellowship does flesh have with the spirit? And that's the contrast that we get to as Hebrews, and how the story, right, it resonates within each and every one of us. Got the blessing of the Most High and His Son, can see the miracles, can see the wonders, receiving the word. You might be having a spiritual covering of your congregation. You may have praying mothers and fathers. You may have been taught this thing, man, ever since a young youth. Been trained up in the ways of the Most High and the Son. Right B times near the blessing of the Most High and the Son. And then that controversy starts within. And that's when the serpent starts talking to you. You hear me talk about that little man all the time. And that's when the conflicts between the spiritual herdsmen and the fleshly herdsmen, they'll start going at it. Oh yeah, brothers and sisters, absolutely. That's that internal war what we read about within the fall of man. And that serpent is more cunning, man. And Lot's herdsmen is more cunning than any beast of the field, because it'll convince you otherwise. Don't you think, family, that you would want to stay with Abraham?
Bring it out.
You wouldn't want to depart with you. This is the father of all nations. The blessings of the covenant will be passed down through the word. Why would you want to separate?
That's right.
Because, family, we go through this thing a lot about with this serpent. And as the serpent would come in and it's more subtle than any beast of the field, and it'll beguile you. Right within the blessings of the Most High and His Son, right within the covenant, it'll beguile you to send you away, to push you away. This is Genesis 3 and 1. Read this.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
The serpent was more subtle in trickery, cunning than any beast of the field. Read.
Which the Lord God had made.
And the Lord made these things for our nourishment, to prove us whether if we will follow him or not. Read.
And he said unto the woman.
And he said unto the woman, read.
Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
You don't want to walk with Abram, the father of all nations, anymore. Read.
And the woman said unto the
And
serpent,
the woman replied, read.
We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
See, the zeal was inside of the woman. She understood and she knew. Read.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
And when you read about the story about the fall of man, do you see the recognition of the woman? She knew what the command of the Lord was.
Bring it out.
That's the situation that we find ourselves in all of the time. We know the commandments of the Lord. We know what the Lord told us what to do. We know that we're supposed to follow. Look about the things that are above. Continue to strive and being diligent and being obedient to the word of the Most High. But that conflict between the spiritual things and the things of the fleshly things that we want to do, it arises within each and every one of us. This is the zeal that all of us Hebrew have. We know exactly what to do. We know that the commandments of the Lord. We know we've been taught these things over and over. We shall not touch these things lest ye die.
Teach.
Read.
And the serpent said unto the woman,
But the serpent replied, read.
Ye shall not surely die.
This is the conflict between Abraham herdsman and Lot herdsman. Ye shall not surely die. The conflict. We are brethren. Read.
For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Keep reading.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food,
When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, being beguiled, seeing the things because of her sight, when she saw that those things are good, living by sight, not by faith. Read.
and that it was pleasant to the eyes,
Pleasant to the eyes, pleasant to the flesh, desirable like the gold and silver. Read.
and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof,
She took of the fruit thereof. Read.
and did
And
eat,
did consume. Read.
and gave also unto her husband,
And gave it to her husband. Read.
and he did eat.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 41. And when you go back and when you read the condemnation of the conflict between Abraham herdsmen and Lot herdsmen, that's the same conflict that the woman was having with the serpent, or the man was having with the serpent. The same conflict. And that conflict is the conflict between the flesh and the spirit, between a life of sacrifice or a life of obedience, between a life of being resurrected and being initiated or a life of still being in earthly and residing on earthly things. So there was strife between Lot's herdsmen, and there was strife between Abraham. See, Abraham was the father of nations. Don't you want to be in the bosom of Abraham? See, Christ was talking about Abraham. If you were Abraham's seed, you would do the work of Abraham. Why would you want to separate yourself from the father of all nations? Why would you want to separate yourself from the minister of righteousness that was leading on and converting souls? Because of the serpent. And you got to watch out for the serpent.
Bring it out.
And the serpent represents temptation. The serpent represents your desire,
That's right.
your wants, your earthly needs. And even though that you're in the midst of the bosom, even though that you're protected by the word of the Most High, even though that you've been getting pastors to be able to teach you right knowledge, showing you, walking you through these things, week after week, surrounding yourself with godly brothers and sisters, that temptation or that serpent or the contrast or the confliction between the two herdsmen, between righteousness and unrighteous, those things will start to conflict between the flesh and the spirit. And Christ of Nazareth talked to us about those things. This is Matthew 26 and 41. Read this.
Watch and pray.
Watch and pray. Read.
That ye enter not into temptation.
That ye enter not into temptations. Read.
The spirit indeed is willing.
Because the spirit indeed is willing to stay with Abraham. The spirit indeed is willing to do the things of the Most High. The zeal indeed is willing to praise and give a worship to the Father, bowing down with your head down. Full supplication, enter into the mountain because the spirit is willing. Read.
But the flesh is weak.
And that's what Lot was dealing with, brothers and sisters. You're dealing with a spiritual man. You're dealing with a man that seen and was taught and brought up under the ways of the Most High and the Son, but dealing with a weak flesh. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Hebrews, we dealing with that. You see, we all got a zeal for the Most High and the Son. That's why you practice your religious practices. See, we all want to serve the Most High, or we all believe that we are servants of the Most High and His Son, and the Spirit is really willing to convert yourself over, to continue on that path and leaving out of Egypt, leaving out of the land of the Chaldeans, and walking on the path to Jerusalem. But that flesh becomes weak. And that's when the serpent comes and starts to beguile you. And the serpent comes and starts to entice you. Going back to the book of Genesis chapter 13 and verse 10. We're talking about Lot, brothers and sisters. We're talking about Lot, family. This is very important that, we get this biblical character Lot down. Because it's so relatable to our lives. Lot and Abraham, they separate. There was contention between the flocks and the herds and the tents. Abraham's flock, Lot's flocks, representing the spirit and the flesh, representing the woman and the serpent. There was contingency. There was enmity. There was strife between the flesh and the spirit. There was contingency. There was non-agreement. What does Christ have with Baal? With the flesh and the spirit.
Teach.
And we know better, brothers and sisters. We done had 100 Feast of Tabernacles.
Bring it out.
100 Day of Atonements.
That's right.
100 Sabbath days. 100 lectures. See, that spirit is willing. You see yourself with the spirit, and the spirit is willing, but that flesh is weak. The flesh goes to battle with the Most High. The flesh goes to battle with righteousness. The flesh goes to battle, and it'll separate you from the Father of all nations. That's how powerful that strife is for the flesh. Watch yourself because of that temptation. And we fall through temptations all the time. Temptation is all around us because the flesh is on you. You got to fight that battle. And this was the most important thing, that when the conflict arises, you see, Abraham gave Lot a choice. He said, separate, choose whatever that it is that you want. Whatever that it is that make you feel righteous, go ahead and choose. Every man got free choose. Every man got liberty to choose what he want to choose. And what we about to read here in Genesis 13 and 10 was, I'm going to show you the decision that made. So you got a righteous man, a man that was brought up under the customs, a man that was brought up under the traditions, under the ways, being taught, got the word right up underneath the bosom of the Most High and His Son. But when it was brought up to the point for him to choose his righteousness, for him to choose his ways, for him to choose whatever faith that he want, Lot chose his eyes, and Lot didn't choose faith. Oh, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, for sure. For sure. This is Genesis 13 and 10. Read this.
And Lot lifted up his eyes.
And Lot lifted up his eyes, and this is when he departed and separated from Abram, and he was choosing to be able to choose a land to where you want to pitch tent. What they're saying allegorically is choose your spiritual path.
Bring it out.
Choose where you want to pitch tent.
Teach.
You want to pitch tent in righteousness, or you want to pitch tent further away from the Most High and His Son? And Lot, when he's seen the plains of Jordan, and Lot was given the opportunity to choose his faith now. When Lot was given the opportunity to choose his service and his dedication and his righteousness, listen to what he did. And Lot lifted up his eyes, read.
And beheld all the plains of Jordan.
And saw all the plains of Jordan, read.
That it was well watered everywhere.
He seen that the plains of Jordan to the left were well watered, read.
Before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah.
And he seen how the land was filled with water before the Lord destroyed it. Read.
Even as the garden of the Lord.
So when you're looking at Lot, and through his perception of his fleshly perception, he's looking at Sodom and Gomorrah, and to him it looks like the garden of the Lord.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
You see, brothers and sisters, that's why you come into the church, and that's why you get righteous knowledge and teaching, because when we have those eyes and when we have those fleshly eyes, we're right there, right by Abram, right there, right by the covenant, right there walking with the Most High and His Son. And when it's time for us to choose our righteousness, when it's time for us to choose our path, now you're growing up in the spirit, you're getting up out of your Father's house. It's time for you to decide if you're going to walk with the Most High and His Son or not. And when it's time for you to choose, you'll choose based off your perception.
Bring it out.
Of what you believe is right.
Teach.
And the beauty of thine eyes. And the lust of thine desires. Lot lifted up his eyes and he looked up the plain of Jordan, and he saw that how Jordan was well watered, even as the Garden of Eden before the Lord destroyed Sodom. Read.
Like the land of Egypt.
Like the land of Egypt. Read.
As thou comest into Zoar.
Keep reading.
Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan.
Then Lot chose that land to dwell there, all of the plain of Jordan. Read.
And Lot journeyed east.
And Lot took that spiritual journey eastward. Read.
And they separated themselves, the one from the other.
And this is the opportunity. When you choose that path, you will separate yourself from spiritual things.
Bring it out. Teach.
And Lot chose him all the plains of Jordan. He saw that the plains of Jordan were well watered, just like the Garden of Egypt. But actually what it was Sodom and Gomorrah, what he was seeing through his fleshly realm and fleshly eyes. And you know, brothers and sisters, when we get in the righteous knowledge and the righteous understanding, we'll turn away and look toward the west. We'll look toward the south, and we'll see that land, even though that land is the same land of Egypt. We'll look at it like the Garden of Eden.
Bring it out.
See, this is a righteous man, being brought up in the covenant, being brought up in the traditions, being brought up in the ways, being brought up in the customs. Plenty of Passovers, plenty of unleavened breads, plenty of Day of Atonements, plenty of Sabbaths, plenty of unleavened feasts. And Lot chose him in the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east and separated themselves one from another, separated themselves from the Spirit of God. Read.
Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan.
Abram continued to press forward, to be obedient to the land of Jerusalem, to continue to dwell in Canaan as the Lord commanded for him to do. Read.
And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain.
But Lot took another route, a fleshly route, a route that was sought by his eyes, not by his faith, not by obedience, but a path that was chosen by his eyes, and dwelt in the cities of the plain. Read.
And pitched his tent towards Sodom.
And chose his confession and pitched towards his dedication to the idols of Sodom. Read.
But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners.
But the men of Sodom were wicked and were sinners. Read.
Before the Lord exceedingly.
We in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 6. And when you read them 3 lines, right? When you read them 3 passages, when you read them 3 scriptures, you see Abraham, he walked by promise, and Lot, he walked by his appearance. You see, faith asks, what did God say? You see, God told you to continue to be still and to continue to walk through the plains of Canaan and on your way to Jerusalem. But Lot said, what looks best?
Bring it out.
And that's, as Hebrews, man, we do that a lot. We look for what looks best. We look for the things of what feels best. You see, Abram, there was no communion with Abram because Abram was already given the charge. Or Abram is the progenitor of a life of obedience. Abram continued to press forward to Canaan to convert more souls to the God of the heavens. But Lot, man, chose another way.
Teach.
You see, Lot looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and it looked beautiful. And that's how the flesh looked, family. It looked good.
That's right. Bring it out.
Beautiful gold, silver, dapper things. And that's how that old life looked too. It looked enticing. It looked like that's the best thing for you. That's what I need. I want to perceive that. But when you're looking at things from a fleshly standpoint, brothers and sisters, sometimes you're looking at something that may look like the Garden of Eden and is actually Sodom and Gomorrah. You see, Abraham continued to be obedient, and Abraham continued to press toward Canaan on his way to Jerusalem, to the land towards milk and honey. You see, faith asked us, what did God say? You see, God told us to continue to push forward, but the carnal wisdom, and what did Lot say? Lot separated himself from the wisdom, from the Most High in his Son, from the word, the customs, and wanted to live by the way of his own sight. You see, the scripture says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and don't lean unto your own understanding. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Lean on the Most High in his Son ways. Be obedient, and he's going to order your footsteps.
That's right.
You see, this is why in biblical narrative, you get the same allegory over and over throughout the scriptures. And this is something that is known throughout all religious sects. This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 6. Read this.
Therefore, we are always confident, knowing that, whilst we are at home in the body, we are present from the Lord.
Read.
For we walk by faith.
For we walk by faith. Read.
Not by sight.
And that's very important, because walking by faith and not by sight, what that means is I walk in obedience and not by sacrifice.
Bring it out.
I walk according to the Lord and not according to my own eyes. Because the eyes is death. The eyes are carnal things. And you're right there in the covenant with the Most High and the Son. Just jump out on that water and continue to walk out on that faith. Don't separate yourself and choose another land to dwell in. We in the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 16. Choose to where you want to pitch your tent. Choose wisely. We're talking about Lot. And the allegories of Lot, showing what the story of Lot means to all Hebrews as it correlates to all of our lives. You see, Lot was brought up under Abram. You see, Lot, when it comes to his herdsmen and Abram's herdsmen, there was contention. So because there was contention between the flesh and the spirit, you had to choose between which place you want you to dwell, where you want to pitch your tent. And instead of staying faithful and choosing with the Most High and the Son, even through your bad days and even through your good days, you right there with the blessing. You right there with the seed to pass the seed down. You right in the bosom of Abram. Don't go anywhere. Us Hebrews, man, we'll choose our own path. We'll choose to walk by sight and choose by sight and choose to live by sight instead of living like Abram, which Abram lived by faith. See, that'll remove all them burdens. That'll remove the punishment. That'll remove the anguish. That'll remove the toil that we live throughout our lives on a daily basis. Be faithful to the Most High and the Son and be obedient. It should be hitting home.
That's right.
This is what we do. That serpent come in and start to beguile us. And instead of believing on the blessings of the Most High and the Son, we believe in ourselves, erecting up idols. Choosing to live by our own perceptions. Choosing to live by our own thoughts, our own knowledge, our own way, our own, as if you're not a creation of the Creator. This is Romans chapter 6 and verse 16. Read this.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants are to whom ye obey.
So understand, family, so where you pitch your tent and where you reside, that's who you are of service to. Read.
Whether of sin unto death.
Whether if you choose your own path and to choose and walk in the ways of your own sight, choose to walk in the ways of your own righteousness, choose to walk in the ways of your own perception, which is sin and death. Read.
Or of obedience unto righteousness.
Or you choosing to pitch your tent in Canaan and to continue to move your tent to Jerusalem and order yourself under obedience and righteousness. We're going back up to the slide. Show some love in the chat, brothers and sisters. We continuing to run. No, yeah, keep me on. Yeah, appreciate that, brother. Yes, sir. A righteous man, right? You know, being brought up under the customs of the Most High and the Son, and being right with the Most High, but for some reason, still having that eternal battle with the spirit and the flesh, and choosing that path of unrighteousness, and choosing to dwell in a place to where that it is that we're not supposed to dwell, instead of continue to be obedient of the Most High and the Son, and that erects within us all the time. Scroll down to section 3. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Right there. And, or, no, go back up. I'm sorry. Continue to go up to number 2. Yeah, I missed number 2. And that's why it's so important, family, because We have to get these things under control. You can stop right there because you know why this matter. Because Lot represents the believers who know God, the believers who feel conviction, the believers who remain spiritually uneasy, but you know delay themselves from that separation. And why would you separate from you right there in the midst of the bosom? Why would you leave? And again, we're going to go back. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 13 and verse 10. You can take me off the screen. And we're going to go back and read that again because it's very important, brothers and sisters. You're right there. You're right there. And right in the point to when that serpent started talking to you, when that serpent started dealing with you, when that serpent is starting to try and to beguile you, that's the point to where you need to stand strong. That's the point to where you need to get in your closet and pray even more. That's the point to where you need to get to and really trust in your foundation.
That's right.
Trust in your teaching.
That's right.
Trust in your knowledge that you have. And trusting in the Most High and the Son. We're going to read that again. Genesis 13 and 10. Read that again.
And Lot lifted up his eyes.
Lot lifted up his eyes. Read.
And beheld all the plain of Jordan.
And Lot beheld all the plains of Jordan. Read.
That it was well watered everywhere.
And he saw that the land of Jordan was well watered there. Read.
Before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah.
In actuality, it was Sodom and Gomorrah. Read.
Even as the garden of the Lord.
But when Lot saw it, he seen the garden of the Lord. Read.
Like the land of Egypt.
Just like the land of Egypt. Read.
As thou comest unto Zoar.
Keep reading.
Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan.
Then Lot chose the path to pitch his tent in the land of Jordan. Read.
And Lot journeyed east.
And Lot continued on their journey eastward. Read.
And they separated themselves, the one from the other.
And Lot separated himself from the true divine spirit of the Father. Read.
Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan.
But Abram lived a life of obedience, continuing to push forward to the land of Canaan. Read.
And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain.
And Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain eastward. Read.
And pitched his tent.
And pitched his tent. Read.
Toward Sodom.
And he chose to pitch his tent toward sin and death. Read.
And the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners.
And the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners. Read.
Before the Lord exceedingly.
We're in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 25. And that's why it's so important that the idols of your own eyes, the idols of the other nations, the idols, anything that separates us away from the Most High, his commandments and his orders and his judgments, his execution, knowledge, and his wisdom, that we're supposed to crash down those groves. Don't let those things continue to stay erect.
Bring it out.
You see, Lot lifted up his eyes, and Lot, he saw fertile land. Lot saw economic opportunity. Lot saw beauty. Lot saw prosperity. It looks good. And it looked like the garden of the Lord. And he chose to pitch his tent in Sodom. But the appearance of things and the appearance of your own sight, what it'll do is it'll hide corruption.
Bring it out.
You see, corruption is right up underneath Sodom. Corruption is right behind the door of Babylon. See, corruption is right behind the doors of Egypt. And sometimes, family, just like Lot, will choose each decisions in our life based on our visibility instead of based on discernment of God. And that's the most important thing that we got to take out of the story right now. So you got to choose to do things of the discernment of God, not choose to do things based off of your sight and based off of the way how you view things. You got to choose the things that's being obedient to the most. You got to pitch your tent in the daytime. You have to pitch your tent towards righteousness. And don't be choosing those things, man, that's based off of those visibilities. You see, Abram continued to walk in that promise, and Lot chose to walk in appearance. You see, faith asks us, what does God say? And the carnal wisdom of things ask us, what looks best? You see, I'm telling you, family, see, the decisions that we make on a daily basis, you know, we don't thinking that these things may be big, but every decision that you make within your own eyes is opposite, and it separates you from the Spirit.
Teach. That's right. That's right.
And that's a decision that Lot made, and we're about to read about what happened to Lot after he made that decision. And it should sound very familiar about the lives that we live. After we make the decision to choose our own path, after we make the decision to after we choose and make the decision to live by our own eyes after we choose and make the decision to pitch our tents away from the Most High and the Son, after we choose and make the decision to say what looks best and choose what looks best instead of choosing what did God say. This is the book of Deuteronomy 7:25. Read this.
The graven images of their gods.
The graven images of the gods. Read.
Shall ye burn with fire.
Ye shall burn with fire. Read.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them.
This is a perception of ways, and we should not desire the silver and gold that is upon them. Read.
Nor take it unto thee.
Nor take it and consume thee. Read.
Lest thou be snared.
Lest thou be snared therein. Read.
For it is an abomination to the Lord thy God.
We're in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 10. See, we're supposed to walk by faith and obedience to the Most High. See, even if it hurt, you see, even if it don't feel good, see, even if we don't understand it, even if it's not the cool thing to do, even if it doesn't agree with your flesh, and it's not going to agree with your flesh, and that's not the time to choose the flesh, but because it feels good, you got to choose the upright and the hard things, and you got to choose the spirit.
That's right.
See, when you choose those spiritual things, that flesh gonna fight you. It's gonna make a war. There's gonna be contention between Abraham flock and Lot flock. The spiritual flock, the covenant, and the blessings. And then you have Lot's flock, and Lot wanted to pitch tent in Sodom. Seeing that these things look beautiful to the sight, but brothers and sisters, we cannot live by our sight. Our sight and our heart is going to deceive us for the desires of the silver and the gold that the flesh wants.
Bring it out.
And the desire of the flesh, what it wants, the silver and the gold that we receive, that the flesh that it wants, the thing about it is you'll never be satisfied with it, man. So the best thing is to just choose the righteous path of the Most High, like Abram did. You see, Abram continued to journey to Canaan, and Abram continued on the mission that he was blessed to pass the seed to be a father of all nations for the end time. Lot chose otherwise. And it's a hard life when you walking by sight and not by faith. Walking by faith, that's an easy life. See, walking by faith is when you resting in the Most High and the Son. When you walking by faith, you let the Lord fight the battle. When you walking by sight, you got your guns and your bullets.
Teach.
Ready to go to war.
Bring it out.
No, you can't stand against the enemy. No, you can't stand against the wiles of the devils by your own opinion, by your own sight.
That's right.
Walk by faith.
Teach.
Because you'll never be satisfied with your own sight. The belly and the hunger of the belly for the meats and the meats for the belly will never be satisfied thereof. You're going to continue to walk. And we get in these situations as Hebrews, man, and where we want to continue to walk on our own path, and we may be receiving the dainty meats that we desire at that point in time, but it don't last, do it?
No, sir.
Never does. It's only a temporary feeling. It's only a temporary high. It never does.
That's right. Gotta chase it.
Listen to what the scriptures say. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. Read this.
He that loveth silver.
He that loveth silver. Read.
Shall not be satisfied with silver.
Shall not be satisfied wherewith. Read.
Nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity.
Abundance and increase. This is all vanity. Will not be satisfied. Read.
When goods increase.
When the goods increase. Read.
There are increase that eat it.
There are increase of them that consume. Read.
And what good is there to the owners thereof, having the beholding of them with their eyes?
Read.
The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
We in the book of Genesis chapter 13 and verse 13 again. You see, this is the spiritual place that where we get and we see a lot, and I see a lot, man, in the church. I see a lot in this truth movement. I see a lot within a lot of Hebrews. Every time I log on Facebook, I see somebody say, I am no longer a part of the Hebrew Israelite movement. I see that almost every day. I see the separation between Hebrews on a daily basis, erecting up gods, instead of staying in simplicity and being in the simpleness in the structure of the Most High and His Son, keeping your mouth closed, staying obedient, and continuing to walk on the path. I see on a daily basis Hebrews continuing to separate themselves and wanting to walk and choose the ways of the flesh instead of being strong and swallowing that pill of righteousness, and it's gonna hurt when you swallow it. It's gonna be nasty, man. Just like that ointment that you had to take when you were sick, and swallowing that pill and swallowing that ointment and continuing to stay strong and walk on that path of righteousness. Do you see what Lot did?
Bring it out.
Lot lifted up his eyes. Lot seen that the land was fair. Lot seen opportunities. Lot seen ways of a beautiful life. Lot seen a way that separated him from what Abraham did. And this is the point right here to where, brothers and sisters, you have to be careful when you're out here living your life. You can't be out here just being separated from the Most High. You have to be thinking. You have to be walking towards the Most High. You got to continue to be reading your Bible. You got to be engaged. You got to continue to study.
That's right. Right.
Because it's easy to see ways out of your own eyes. It's easy to do things out of your own heart. It's easy to perceive that the ways that you're doing things is the right thing to do. Genesis 13:13, read that.
But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners.
But actually, when you're seeing things out of your own eyes, you're seeing darkness. Men of Sodom, wicked and sinners. Read.
Before the Lord exceedingly.
Now let's go back up into the slide. We're going to part 3. And the thing about it is, scroll down for me, bro. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. You'll see it. Keep scrolling. Right there, section 3. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling.
Man.
Yeah, section 3 right here. And you know, after we make that decision, family, to pitch our tent towards Sodom, after we make that decision, this is when the Most High and His Son start knocking on your door. And this is when the process of warning and judgment starts.
That's right.
And this is what we're going to read about with Lot, and especially with Lot's wife, when we get to the climax of the class. You see, as a matter of fact, take me off the screen. Let's go to Genesis chapter 14. Let's set the scene real quick. Because one thing that we have to understand, that even though, you know, we're being blessed with the Most High, so much mercy. And most of the times, family, we'll choose to pitch in our tent in other locations and other mountains to the where that we're not supposed to pitch our tent at. And there's going to be war in the land where you pitch your tent, for sure. And the Most High is going to come save you. If you're chosen. The Most High is going to come and get you. The Most High is going to come and save you out of that fire. But after you pitch your tent there, the Most High is going to start knocking on your door to start to let you know that there is fire and brimstone that is going to be coming on your way.
That's right. That's right.
We in the book of Genesis chapter 14 and verse 1. Check this out. Read this.
And it came to pass.
It came to pass in those days. Read.
Of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Eslar, Shadorlamer, king of Elam, and Tadal, king of nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinar, king of Admin, and Shamir, king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, which is Zor.
Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11.
Read.
And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah.
They took all the goods and they came in such war. Read.
And all the victuals, and went their way.
Came and robbed Sodom of Gomorrah of their victuals. Read.
And they took Lot.
And they also took Lot as well. Read.
Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed.
Keep reading.
And there came one that had escaped, and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Amorah, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, the brother of Aner. And these were confederate with Abram.
Keep reading.
And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive,
and when Abram heard that Lot was taken, read.
He armed his trained servants.
He armed his servants, read.
Born in his own house, 318, and pursued them into Dan.
Keep reading.
And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them into Hobah, which is on the left hand of Dan, Damascus.
Keep reading.
And he brought back all the goods.
Brought back his goods, read.
And also brought again his brother Lot.
Came and got his brother Lot again, read.
And his goods.
And his goods, read.
And the women also. And the people.
See, one thing that I really wanted to read that is because what this does is in chapter 14, these verse 16, this gives you the totality of what happened to Lot. You see, Lot, when he pitched tent in Sodom and Gomorrah, and when Lot, he chose that was the way that he wanted, that was the lifestyle that he wanted, there was war that came up upon that land. And Lot was consumed in the choice that he made. But through the mercy and power of the Most High and the Son, just like Christ can come down and grab you out of any depth in darkness, Abraham did the same thing and had to come and get Lot up out of that darkness. See, the good thing about it is the Most High is going to come get you out of that darkness, even though that you chose to walk out of your own sight. Oh, that was very powerful, and it probably went over a lot of people's heads, and we're going to come back to that. Put me back on the screen. Matter of fact, we're in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 21 and verse 1. We're in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 21 and verse 1. It's always going to be that sign. It's always going to be that warning when you decide to pitch tent other in the flesh instead of in the spirit. That's when the countdown going to start in the Most High, because he loves you, the Most High, going to give you a chance to come back over to Jerusalem. The Most High is going to give you a chance to go back and to come back unto him. And he always gives us that command to flee, to run, to flee. Don't look back, to flee. Come unto me, even though that you set your tent, even though that you pitched your tent in Sodom and Gomorrah, and because of your own sight and because of your own understanding, you thought it was beautiful.
Teach.
You thought it was the way to go.
Bring it out.
It was beautiful to the eyes. Plenty of meats. This is what God wanted me to do. But we have to understand, and as soon as that we pitched our tent there, hell started to enlarge on us.
Bring it out. That's right.
And we go through all of these things, man. You might even get consumed. Kings of the battles, they're in there. They're battling in the situation that you're in, and you may even get conquered. You may even get captured. But the Lord loves you. The Lord gonna come and save you.
That's right.
You see, it's serious when you decide to leave Abram instead of not to continue to walk towards Canaan and then pitch a tent on the east and then go and pitch a tent in Sodom and Gomorrah. There's judgments for that. There's a total life change. It's a total course in faith that you have to make another run around. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 and verse 1. Read this.
My son,
daughter, read.
Hast thou sinned?
Have thou sinned? Have thou made bad decisions? Read.
Do so no more.
Do so no more. Learn from these things. Read.
But ask pardon for thy former sins.
As forgiveness for thy former sins. I will not do these things anymore. Read.
Flee from sin, as from the face of a serpent.
Just like we read about the serpent, how that serpent continues to trick and beguile you. So you cannot walk after the ways and the fashions of the Most High and the Son. Flee from sin. Flee. Turn away. Flee from sin. Flee from your own doings. Flee from your own ways. Flee from your own understanding. Flee from your own thoughts. Don't get bought up into temptation. We know that their spirit is willing to serve the Most High and the Son, but the flesh is weak. Flee sin. Sin resides in the flesh. Flee death. Death resides in the flesh as the face of a serpent. Read.
For thou comest too near.
Because if you pitch your tent in sin, read.
It will bite.
It will bite thee. Read.
The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion.
And the teeth thereof will implant itself and consume. Read.
Slaying the souls of men.
Sin, saying the souls of men. Read.
All iniquity is as a two-edged sword.
Because that iniquity is a two-edged sword. Read.
The wounds whereof cannot be healed.
Go back to the screen. You see, when we get to that time in our life, man, when we pitch that tent, this is what I chose. This is what I want. Even though the Most High and the Son got us right here walking with the blessings, the commandments, got us walking with Abram, the father of all nations, with the covenant, with the seed, with the blessing, and we choose to pitch tent, that's when the Most High and the Son going to start knocking on your door. You see, we was commanded to flee all sin. We was commanded to flee unrighteousness, and we was commanded to flee death.
That's right.
Not walk towards it.
That's right.
See, we was commanded to live by faith and not by sight, not by your own understanding. Who do you think that you are?
Teach.
You know, we all think that we something. That's human nature, right? I'm something. I'm somebody. Who do you think you are? You see, we was commanded to flee when mercy interrupts your direction. See, we got to understand that, you see, the Most High don't destroy first without calling you out. You see, judgment may be certain, but to escape that judgment is always offered first. Yeah, you pitched your tent there. Yeah, you lost out on your blessing, and Judgment may be certain because you pitched your tent according to your own eyes, but the escape route will always be offered. Praise the Most High and the Son, ain't it?
Bring it out.
My
Right.
goodness.
Teach.
Yeah.
And the command to flee is the proof of mercy. Scroll down. You see, the Most High entered Sodom before it fell. And we're going to read about this right here. 2 angels arrived in Sodom at even. This is significant because God sent messengers into the very place of corruption. And that's what the Lord do. The Lord always knocks on your door when you're in the place of corruption. When you're pitching your tent in Sodom and instead of continuing to walk towards Jerusalem.
Teach.
Most High gonna always send you those messengers. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. The Most High gonna always send you those messengers. See, before that collapse, man, God always gonna send that conviction. Before the loss, God always gonna send that warning. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. God always gonna send that warning. God always gonna warn you before destruction. God always gonna send that interruption because mercy always precedes that judgment. We're in the book of Genesis chapter 19 and verse 1, and we're going to get to the bottom of this thing, brothers and sisters. This is a mirror and a reflection of the life that Hebrews lived, right with the Most High and the Son. Hundreds of Passovers, hundreds of dedications, hundreds of atonements. But when it's time for you to grow up spiritually and to show your spiritual maturity and to show your obedience to the Most High and the Son, we decide to pitch our tent in Sodom.
Teach.
Because it looks good.
That's right.
The vanity of the eyes.
Teach.
See, the Most High ways is not beautiful in the sight to some of us, so we choose otherwise. The Most High ways may not fit with our spirit at that time, so we choose otherwise. See, this is the contention that you have between Lot flock and Abraham flock. It's a contention. You see, Abram was given the covenant of the Most High. Abram had great flock. Abram had great herdsmen. Everyone that was underneath Abraham's bosom became a child or a daughter of the Most High through the preaching of his words. And that's how we come into this world. And that's what it means to be a part of these organizations and these churches. When you're coming in, you got your pens and pads and Bibles, you got a spiritual covering. Continue to walk on the path of what the Most High have us. But when you choose to pitch tent in those otherwise, see, the Most High going to do everything that he can not to put you in that judgment to where the Most High said he going to judge. He's going to give you that warning. He's going to show you that mercy. Every opportunity he's going to give you to change. Every opportunity he's going to give to you to flee. Every opportunity that the Most High is going to give you to look the other way.
That's right.
Didn't you probably get one today? Didn't you probably get an opportunity yesterday? What about last week? You see, the warning before destruction always comes when you decide to pitch tent other than the place in the mountains, other than the place of Canaan, other than the place of the land of milk and honey, when you decide to separate yourself. Lot separated himself from righteousness. When you decide to separate yourself and pitch your own tent, the warning is always going to come before that destruction. Listen to this warning. This is Genesis 19 and 1. Read this.
And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even.
See, there came 2 angels to Sodom at even. Read.
And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom.
See, now when you see Lot's position in this time, Lot settled in at Sodom. Lot dwelt in Sodom for a long particular time, even so that Lot rose up to sit in the gate. When you sit in the gate, it means that you're in a leadership position. The gates thereof languish. Lot sitting in the gate. Look at what Lot became. You see that journey that you take, man, you see it start with one decision of saying, damn, that look good. And then it continues to grow. And then it sticks with you. And then it becomes part of you, a part of your identity. And now you're sitting in the gates of Sodom. Read.
And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them.
And when Lot seen the messengers, he rose up to meet them. Read.
And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
And when he seen the messengers, he bowed down his face toward the ground. Read.
And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, unto your servant's house.
Turn in, read.
And tarry all night.
Fellowship, read.
And wash your feet.
Repent, read.
And ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
Keep reading.
And he pressed upon them greatly. And they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat.
What Genesis 19:1 is showing us is that even though, family, that you may pitch your tent inside them, you know when the messengers of the Most High and the Son are coming your way.
Bring it out.
And that's why I tell the people in Onebody in your house, y'all, all the time, y'all be acting like y'all don't know. Like you just don't know. Sometimes we act like we don't know. You done pitched your tent over here in Sodom. You've raised your family there. Even though that you was with the Most High from the beginning, you separated yourself, just like that bill of divorce when the Most High put the bill of divorce in for us and separated ourselves. We separated ourselves to go and live in Sodom. Now that you done raised your children up in Sodom, now that you are rosing yourself up in Sodom, even though that you are sitting in the midst of the gates of Sodom, but you know when the presence of the Most High and the Son is right here in front of your face. And that's because you have that zeal. You all got the zeal to do righteousness, but are you doing righteousness?
Bring it out.
And, we don't get this, time period when we read in the scriptures, but I'm assuming here that there was some time went by. Lot dwelled in Sodom for a long time. And from the perception of Sodom, Sodom looked good. Sodom looked beautiful. Sodom looked the way that this was the right decision. And with most of us, when we making these decisions that's opposite of the Most High, we'll raise our children there. We'll pitch tent. We'll settle. We'll get comfortable. Even to the point that you may rise up in the leadership gates of wherever the post that you pitched your tent there. And you know that that thing is opposite of the Most High. But when the Most High sent his messengers to come and knock on your door, hey brother or hey sister, you know better then.
Mm-hmm.
And what this did was this revealed Lot's spiritual condition. You see, Lot recognized the angels immediately. See, what that showed was, it showed that his spiritual awareness was still alive. You see, sometimes even though when you separate yourself from the Most High, that spirit is still on fire within you. It's just that contention between Lot herdsman and then Abraham herdsman. Put me back up on the screen. See, that's that thing. You see, we be going through these things. Sometimes, man, we'll choose, man, the opposite side of the Most High and the Son. Scroll down, son. See, sometimes we'll choose the opposite side of the Most High and the Son. But what this reveals to us is that even though that we may choose, scroll down, son, until the two gets to the top of the screen right there. Even though that we'll choose, man, to pitch our tent other, then you know that those things not right. You may do the things that's comfortable. That spirit is still alive within you. You still have a chance.
That's right.
See, what this does with Lot was it revealed his spiritual condition. Even though Lot was in the gates of Sodom and Gomorrah and chosen the things that was beautiful in his own eyes, his spiritual awareness was still alive. Scroll down a little bit. It showed that his righteousness still existed inside of him. But notice the conflict and notice the tension. And this is very symbolic of what we go through as Hebrews. You see, we belong to God. You see, Abram, he belonged to God, but he lived in Sodom. You see, Sodom, what Lot was dealing with, you see, his soul was divided between his identity, his righteousness, but the comfortability of his environment, the comfortability of Babylon, the comfortability of Egypt, and the comfortability of Sodom. And we find ourselves as Hebrews being in that conflict right then and there. You see, we belong to the Most High and the Son. We want to worship the Most High. We got the zeal and the spirit is still within us to do the things and the righteous things, but we living in Sodom. We pitched our tent in Babylon. Take me off the screen. We pitched our tent in the land of the Canaanites. We pitched our tent otherwise. We want to serve God. And when you put it into this day, you see, we practice the religious rehearsals. You see, we practice the traditions. We have that zeal, but where do we live within our mind? We still live in Egypt. We're still pitching our tent in Sodom.
Teach.
Oh yeah, for sure, brothers and sisters, for sure. For sure. Put me back up on the screen. And the teaching moment is you have to understand is that the Most High is going to follow you everywhere. And you can be spiritually sensitive while physically positioning yourself in danger. What that means is you can have a zeal of the Most High, knowing of the righteousness of the Most High, but by your decisions and reacting on your flesh, you could be putting yourself at harm. You could be putting yourself at danger. You could be putting yourself in physical danger by choosing the ways of the flesh. We're in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5 and verse 7. This is why it's very important, brothers and sisters, when that angel starts to knock on your door to let you know that the judgment of the Most High and His Son is here. You better tie up your shoelaces. You better get your act together. And you better turn yourself around quick.
That's right.
Flee from that fornication. Flee and leave that tent to wherever you pitched it up and get right back in the bosom of Abraham. Don't let that temptation start to take you over. Don't listen to that serpent which is going to come and beguile you to separate your flock from Abraham's flock and Lot's flock, and you pitching your tent in Sodom and Gomorrah where you're thinking that it's looking good and where it's looking plentiful and it looks bountiful by walking by sight and not choosing to believe in the faith of the Most High and His Son. Very important. We're talking about Lot. See, we're talking about having a zeal of the Most High and the Son, but still choosing that wrong foundation. See, we're talking about having a form of love for the Most High, being brought in the wisdom of the Most High and the Son, but the foundation not being set all the way in faith. Foundation is a carnal one. Practicing the righteous rehearsals, practicing the religious rituals and the religious traditions, but in our heart being far away from the Most High. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7, read this.
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord.
Flee from that fornication, man. The judgment is on the way. Flee from unrighteousness. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Read.
And put not off from day to day.
Put not these things off from day to day. Pick up your tent. Move forward. Read.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
The two angels are now knocking at the door to pronounce judgment. Read.
And in thy security.
But in your justice, read.
Thou shalt be destroyed.
See, in your own mind, in your own ways, choosing the ways of thine own sight, thou shalt be destroyed. Read.
And perish in the day of vengeance.
See, we're going back. We're in the book of Ecclesiasticus. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 19. In verse 12, you see, you get that first warning, brothers and sisters. The angels will come and they'll knock on your door. They'll tell you that judgment is about to come because you pitched your tent. You did things outside of the Most High and the Son. Now, the angels are knocking at your door, letting you know that evil and judgment is about to be pronounced on your doorsteps. Pack your bags. Turn back to the Most High. Get back on the path with our father Abraham and continue to walk toward Jerusalem.
That's right.
Get back on that path.
Right.
Yep. Get back on that path. Get back to the Most High. Some of us, we in this predicament right now. We got the zeal of the Most High and the Son, but we living in Babylon. Address. Pitched our tent in Egypt. Pitched our tent in Sodom and Gomorrah, walking with the Most High and the Son. See, again, this is the word of the Most High and the Son. This is the word of God, brothers and sisters, if you believe it or not. And this is where you pitch your tent at. And this is where you reside. And when you separate yourself outside of the words of the Most High and the Son. It is easy to do in the flesh because in the flesh, you're right.
Bring it out.
All the time, right? Has the flesh ever been wrong? When you made that decision in the flesh, were you ever wrong? See, the flesh is undefeated. See, the sight of the eyes, when you looking at things and judging at things by the way in your eyes, have you ever seen the wrong things? Well, you always see right because when you're looking at things out of your own sight. But when you compare those things to the sight of God, when you compare those things to the locations of God, you'll find out that they never in the same place. It's always pitching tent. And the judgment of the Most High is being pronounced unto you because you have decided to pitch your tent in a different place. The judgment of the Most High will be upon you. You will always get that warning when you need to get up and flee. Flee fornication. Flee unrighteousness. Flee wickedness. Get back into the bosom of the Most High. See, we're talking about Lot again. See, we're talking about a righteous man choosing unrighteous ways. And we catch ourselves in that predicament, man. See, most of us, we got a zeal. And for the most part, most of us, we good people. I mean, just naturally good people. It's to run across somebody doing wickedness in the spirit, man, like actually, bro, just like, yeah, bro, get away from me. It's probably like 1 out of every 10 people, man. It's not that many people. Most people are just regular, say hi to you. They'll say what's up to you, right? See, we all got that zeal to do righteousness, but when we choose to do otherwise, the angels are always going to come knock on the door and let you know that if you keep on this same path, if you keep living in the same geographical location, the Most High going to burn this place up. Now it's on you to choose. Are you going to make haste to turn towards the Most High when you get that? See, we already made the bad decision. We was already separated from righteousness. Now it's time to get back into the graces of the Most High and His Son. Some of you Hebrews, do you feel separated? Some of you Hebrews, do we feel like that we pitched tent in Sodom?
Bring it out.
Did we not continue to walk with our forefather Abram? So when you read these stories, brothers and sisters, put yourself in these stories and get the knowledge and wisdom out of them so that it may deliver you and initiate you into life. This is Genesis 19:12. Read this.
And the men said unto Lot.
And the men said unto Lot, read.
Hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters?
Does I have any that's rolling with you besides thee? Thy son-in-law, thy sons, thy daughter, read.
And whatsoever thou hast in the city.
All belongings that you have in this city, read.
Bring them out of this place.
Flee from this place, read.
For we will destroy this place.
See, it's already pronounced judgment on this place. This is a place of unrighteousness, not fit for the Most High, read.
Because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord.
Because the sins of the people in this place wax great before the face of the Lord. Read.
And the Lord hath sent us to destroy.
And the Lord has sent us to pronounce judgment on this place of unrighteousness. Read.
And Lot went out.
Lot took heed, went out. Read.
And spake unto his son-in-law.
Spake sons-in-law. Read.
Which married his daughters.
The ones that came into his daughters. Read.
And said,
up, and told them, up, read.
Get you out of this place.
Get up out of this place, read.
For the Lord will destroy
this city. For the Lord will destroy this city, read.
But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-law.
See, when you pitch tent, man, in Sodom, and when you pitch tent towards your own eyes, and when the angels of the Lord come and knocking on your door, they'll come politely the first time, and then the second time, they'll come and pronounce that real judgment. Change your life. Get back on the path of the Most High in His Son. Stop believing in the idols of Egypt. Stop believing in the comfortability of this dark and this sinful place. This is not the place to where the Most High pitched His tent. This is not the place to where the Most High reside for you to be. The Most High's tent is on the path to Jerusalem. Get yourself out of this place. Get yourself out of this condition. Stop believing in your own way. Stop believing in your own sight. Pick up your cross. Walk by faith. Get up out of this place and walk toward Jerusalem. You see, we get that warning all the time. And again, did you get that warning last week? You see how the warning continues to intensify?
Right.
The warning get sharper and sharper and sharper. See, the Most High don't just pronounce judgment on the first day. The Most High love you, brothers and sisters. The Most High wants you to do it. It pleases the Most High when the Most High sees brothers and sisters being obedient to His word, feeding and feasting off the scriptures, participating, pens and pads, learning about the righteous words, coming in class and learning and getting more closer to Him. That's pleasing in the sight of the Most High and the Son. But when you're on the opposite side, the Most High is going to give you a chance to change your life. Get back in the graces of the Most High and the Son. Repent and return. Come back to me. And sometimes that's not good enough for some of us. See, even though that we have the zeal of the Most High and His Son, man, we start to pitch up inside of, man. We start to cross our legs. And we start to sit back and get comfortable. Start to sit back and chill, man. Start to sit back and this is my place of residence. Oh, nothing has happened to me yet, so I'm going to continue to dwell here. Nothing has happened to me yet. I'm going to continue to dwell here. This is my place. I've risen up myself until the Lord comes and send down that final judgment. Get yourself up out of this place. Get yourself up out of this condition and flee from unrighteousness and return back to your father. We in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 6. See, these warnings, man, see, they non-negotiable. Put me up on the screen. See, this is the urgent warning that we get. The angel declares that destruction is coming. You've been pitching your tent. You separated yourself. You allowed yourself to dwell into flesh. You allowed yourself to dwell in these lands instead of the land of milk and honey. You dwelled in the land of unrighteousness. Destruction is coming. See, there's no negotiations. There's no delay. There's no reform. There's only escape. We have an opportunity to escape. Scroll down. You see, scroll down, son. You see right there, it says that the Most High not going to try to fix their environment. What the Most High going to do is He's going to try to remove the righteous soul from these environments. See, the Most High know that you're going through it. The Most High know that you pinched your tent there. See, the Most High know that you have chosen, these things for a short period of time, but He can still see that the zeal within you. He can still see that the righteousness within you. See, the Most High is not going to spare it for your sake. See, the Most High is going to destroy that place of darkness. The Most High is going to destroy that place of unrighteousness, and that's within you. These places of unrighteousness and these places of sin within you, but He's going to remove you from that place. See, not every situation is meant to be redeemed. Some situations are meant to be exited. See, when God leaves, He ain't rejecting you. God trying to rescue you. And that's what He doing for us. You can take me off the screen. We're in the book of Genesis. We're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 6. And He's telling us these things again. Understand and listen to what life and see what Lot has went through of the situations of what he chose to do. And look at all the turmoil and the hell that he had to go through because he wanted to separate himself from the Most High and choose the flesh and choose his eyes instead of the spirit, instead of obedience, instead of faith.
Teach.
Be obedient and listen. Be obedient and follow. Listen to what the scriptures tells us about this place. Jeremiah 51:6, read this.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Read.
And deliver every man his soul.
And deliver every man his soul from destruction. Read.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
Return back unto the Father unless you be cut off. Read.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
Because the Lord is coming to repay vengeance on wickedness. Read.
He will render unto her a recompense.
There is a recompense to be rendered against unrighteousness. Read.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
A memorial. Read.
That made all the earth drunken.
Everyone drunken of the wine. Read.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
The nations have drunk of her wine. Read.
Therefore the nations are mad.
Therefore the nations are mad. Therefore the nations are deranged. Read.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Babylon fallen and destroyed. Read.
Howl for her.
Howl for her. Read.
Take balm for her.
Take balm for her pain. Read.
If so be she may be healed.
We in the book of Genesis chapter 19 and verse 16. Look at what Lot is going through. And look at what we're going through. Look at what we're dealing with. Look at the situation that we are arising. And when you come to this place, brothers and sisters, when you come to that point of understanding that now it's time for me to make that decision. And this is the most important decision. You made your decision to separate yourself from the Most High, just like Lot. Lot chose to pitch his tent in Sodom. And you see what came with that. Fire and brimstone. Now you can examine yourself. Now you can see the decision that you may have chosen at that time may have not have been the best decision. Now that you can see that where I am at is not the place that I should be, the Most High has sent His messengers to let me know that if I continue in this spirit, that if I continue in this space, that if I continue pitching my tent here, that I will be destroyed. And we have these things in our life. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. You might not want to do that. You might want to get those things changed. You might want to change that up. You might want to remove yourself from the situation. you might want to change your ways. You might want to pray more. You might want to fast more. If you continue to do that, man, good things are not going to come. Hey, if you continue to live there, sister, good things are not going to come from that. You see, we get these messengers from the angels every day, all day.
Bring it out.
We get these messages and we get these alerts all day, every day. See, the angels, they come into our doorsteps be time to let us know that these things are about to go down. If you continue in this spirit, this place will be destroyed. If you continue pitching yourself here and not following the Most High and the Son, this place will be restored. Flee Babylon. Flee. Flee Babylon. And when we get to these places, brothers and sisters, we'll hesitate. And that's what the meat of the class is about. See, the title of the class is A Righteous Man Who Chose the Foundation. But then when it gets to that point of choosing the Most High and the Son, we'll look back on our own pleasures. Put me up on the screen again. And this is the most important part about the class and really what the class is and the climax of the class really to get to, brothers and sisters. We talking about Lot. And that point to where when Lot was told to flee these things, to grab his family, to grab everything, Lot hesitated. And that's what we're going to be talking about right here. And that's the thing that was us Hebrews. We go through this cycle, and when it's really time for us to pack our bags, when it's really time for us to continue to press forward, when it's really time for us to flee and leave, we'll hesitate.
Bring it out.
He said Lot lingered, and Lot delays the leaving destruction. Why? Because, Sodom had became real familiar with him. Scroll down. You see, Lot, he hesitated to leave Sodom. He hesitated, scroll up a little bit. He hesitated to flee Sodom. He hesitated because Sodom became his home. Sodom became his dwelling place. Sodom became the place of his residence. He had investments, relationships, reputation, a routine. And that's the dangers, man, of being away from the Most High for an extended period of time. You'll get comfortable there. That's be where you reside. That's where you build your relationships. That's where you build your reputation in the place to where you should not reside. And when it's time for you to get up and go, when it's time for you to flee, the Most High got blessings for you, you'll hesitate. And that deliverance requires abandoning for what felt normal. We go into the book of Genesis chapter 19 and verse 5. And take listen to this, and this is very important, brothers and sisters. The meat of the class is when it's time for us to depart, we catch ourselves in bad situations all the time. We make situations based off how we feel. We base situations on what we think, the sight of our eyes, the way how we perceive things. We may even pitch tent for an extended period of time. You may become a resident there. You may stay there. And when the Most High comes and shows you that it's time for you to flee, to get back on the path of righteousness, why do we hesitate? Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. Why do we hesitate? You see that full decision, man, to make that decision to turn to the Most High and the Son, it's like somebody pulling us with a rope on us that we can't leave. And us Hebrews, man, we find ourselves in this predicament all the time. So when it's time for us to change, no more making those dumb decisions. No more satisfying my flesh. No more relying on the silver and gold of the idols. No more pitching my tent in places to where the Most High is not residing. No more following my own understanding. I want to turn to the Lord. I'm tired of getting beat up. I'm tired of getting captive. I'm tired of being taken. I'm tired of the yoke and the bondage that is capturing over me. It's time for me to flee, and then I hesitate. In the book of Genesis 19:15, read this.
And when the morning arose.
And when the morning arose, read.
Then the angels hastened.
And the angels came and hastened with haste, made haste with Lot, urged Lot, read.
Saying.
Telling him, read.
Arise
now, read.
Take thy wife.
Take thy wife, read.
And thy two daughters.
Thy two daughters, read.
Which are here.
Within the city, read.
Lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city.
Take thy wife, take thy two daughters, take all that thou have, and flee, lest thou be consumed for the destruction of this wickedness, read.
And while he lingered.
And while he did what?
While he lingered.
See, and when he got that direct order, he lingered, brothers and sisters. And You know, spiritually, I see us Hebrews in that predicament right now. You know, we've seen it all. We've been through these whole cycles. We've been commanded to flee. We've been commanded to leave. And we've been shown that this place is going to be consumed, man. This is not the place where you need to reside. You need to come and to reside upon the mountaintops where the Lord is. And it's time for us to leave. It's time for us to turn the corner, but we get stuck. And while he lingered and while he tarried, couldn't really take those steps to really flee out of the place, because, you know, sometimes, man, you'll make it your home. You'll make it to where the place that's where you desire. And that's where you reside. And the darkness feels good. The flesh, you become one. You make a marriage with it. You make a covenant with it. The city, the unrighteousness around us, it starts to become normal. It starts to become a way of life. Your family members, your relatives, your job, your friends, the greenback, the lifestyle, the system, it starts to become one with you. So when you try to make that change and when you try to make haste, your feet get stuck in quicksand.
Bring it out.
Yeah, show some love in the chat for that one, brothers and sisters. Show some love in the chat for that one. I want to make this change. I no longer want to reside myself in the flesh. See, the serpent, I don't want to deal with that anymore. The angels coming to show us that destruction is on its way. I chose the wrong pitch to tent. I want to turn my way. I don't want to make haste and tarry to the Most High in the Son no more. I want to be spiritual. I want the blessings. I'm tired of the yoke and bondage, man, that's on my neck right now. I want to get forth. I want to leave these things behind. I want to do the right things. And when the Most High tell us to flee, our feet get stuck. Verse 16, and while he lingered, read.
The men laid hold upon his hand.
Then the men laid hold upon his hand, read.
And upon the hand of his wife.
And the men laid hold upon the hand of his wife, read.
And upon the hand of his 2 daughters.
And upon the hand of his 2 daughters, read.
The Lord being merciful unto him.
And the Lord still being merciful unto him after he lingered, after he waited, after he was unsure to fully follow the Most High. The Most High still had mercy upon him. Read.
And they brought him forth and set him without the city.
And they brought him forth and drove him up out of the city. You see, sometimes, brothers and sisters, you need the Most High to save you up out of the city, pulling you out the fire.
Bring it out.
You need the Most High to come and pull you up out the fire. See, sometimes we catch ourselves in this predicament. The Lord is telling us to flee. I want to do it. I want to jump out on the faith, but I don't believe that I can walk on water. So I linger. I don't believe that I'm fully vested in this righteousness. I don't want to walk this walk fully, so I linger. So I held back. So I don't jump out on that water. I catch myself, you know, it's like you playing double dutch. You don't know if you want to jump in. I want to jump in. We find ourselves in the front of the jump ropes and double dutch for 10 years. We just sitting there. Don't want to jump in. Can't jump in. We know that we're supposed to jump in. We know that if we jump in, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to have so many blessings. But we catch ourselves right at that jump. Instead of turning yourself over into righteousness, instead of giving all of your blessings to the Most High, pulling all of your burdens upon the Lord, instead of fully jumping in, instead of fully getting right with righteousness, Hebrews, we catch ourselves lingering, man. And because of the Lord love you, because of the Lord needs you, because the Lord needs you on this fight, because the Lord need his soldiers right now to fight against unrighteousness, even though you don't want to go, he'll still pull you out the fire. In the book of Jude, we're going to leave verse 23. You see, sometimes that's what us Hebrews, that's what we need. We right there. We want to jump. We want to come over to righteousness, but Sodom got a hold on us. We've been living here for so long. We're familiar with it. This is a familiar location. This is a familiar way of life. This is a familiar way of doing things. But I know that it's not right. My spirit within me is telling me that I need to get back with Abram. You see, Lot flock and Abram flock, they had that contention that made Lot separate himself from Abram. Now Abram and now Lot is in this predicament to where now he's in Sodom. Sodom is about to be destroyed. He knows that he's supposed to get back over unto righteousness. He hears the message of the messengers telling him to change his ways, to change his life, get back unto righteousness. And right when he was finna make the decision, he couldn't pull the trigger, and the angels of the Lord had to pull him out the fire. If the angels of the Lord is pulling you out the fire, you need to give praises.
Bring it out.
Because some of us, we don't want to make that decision. See, some of us, we really don't want to fully make that move. See, some of us, we don't want to fully flee Babylon. We don't want to flee. It got a hold in us. We in the system. We trust it. This is my home. It's pretty good here. It treats me pretty well. I love the leeks. I love the cucumbers. I love the onions. I love the gods. I love to kindle fires. But the Lord loves you so much that even though that you hesitating, even though that you don't want to dive in, even though that you don't want to jump in, the Lord's still going to pull you up out that fire. You ready to go? You ready to be pulled up out that fire? You ready to go? See, we talking about Lot here. See, a man full of the zeal, but catching himself and chose the wrong thing. Chose the wrong foundation. See, we talking about, us Hebrews. See, with the zeal of the Most High in the Son, but choosing to still pitch tent in Egypt. Still choosing to still pitch tent in Babylon. And we getting these warnings, flee. Make no tarrying to turn yourself to the Lord. But we feel these things in our spirit. See, when judgment is about to come, boy, you can feel that thing, boy. You know something is about to come your way. And we want to run, and we can't make that choice. So the Most High got to send his messengers and angels and pull you up out the fire. Jude 23, read this.
And others saved with fear.
So read verse 22.
Verse 22.
Read.
And of some have compassion.
See, some, man, that you want that you got to convert and bring them over to the path of the Most High. See, some of them you got to have compassion. Read.
Making a difference.
Giving edification and making a difference. They'll be able to turn on their own. Read.
And others saved with fear.
And some of them you have to be able to save with the fear of God right in front of their face. Read.
Pulling them out of the fire.
Pulling them out of the fire. Read.
Hating even the garments spotted by the flesh.
We in the book of Genesis chapter 19 and verse 16 again. Show some love in the chat, brothers and sisters. You find yourself in that predicament a lot. You know that you got to change. You tell yourself, you look in the mirror, that I'm not going to do this no more. I'm going to follow myself in righteousness. I see the warning and I see the destruction that all of these things, man, is about to come down right now. And I want to run in the righteousness, but my feet got stuck in quicksand. And the Most High still love you and he'll still pull you up out that fire.
That's right.
Give some praises to the Most High and his Son. That's how much he love you.
Oh, praise.
That's how much the Lord loves you. That's how much the Lord needs you. That's how much the Lord needs you in this battle. He'll even pull you up out that fire when your feet get stuck in quicksand while he lingered and the man laid hold upon his hand and the hand of his wife and the hand of his two daughters, and the Lord being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city. Verse 17, read.
And it came to pass.
And it came to pass, read.
When they had brought them forth abroad.
When they brought him forth abroad, read.
That he said, escape for thy life.
And he got another message said, escape for thy life. Read.
Look not behind
Hold up, what did he say?
Look not behind
Escape for thy life. When you turn yourself over and you flee in unrighteousness, when you escaping for your life, look not behind thee. Read.
Neither stay thou in all the plains.
Neither stay thou in all the plains. Flee yourself. Read.
Escape to the mountain.
Escape yourselves to the mountain. Read.
Lest thou be consumed.
Lest thou be consumed. Read.
And Lot said unto them.
And Lot told unto them. Read.
Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Keep reading.
Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee,
read.
Escape
hither, read.
For I cannot do anything.
For this city will not be destroyed, read.
Until thou come thither.
Until you change your ways, read.
Therefore the name of the city shall be Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered the Zoar.
Keep reading.
Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah.
Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah. Read.
Brimstone and fire.
Brimstone and fire. Read.
From the Lord out of heaven.
Came from the Lord out of heaven. Read.
And he overthrew those cities.
And he overthrew the wickedness of those cities. Read.
And all the plains.
And destroyed all the unrighteousness out of all of the plains. Read.
And all the inhabitants of the cities.
And all the inhabitants of the cities. Read.
And that which grew upon the ground.
And all of those things and monuments and idols that grew upon the ground. Read.
But his wife looked back.
Hold up, read that again.
But his wife looked back.
But his wife looked back. Read.
From behind him.
From behind him. Read.
And she became a pillar of salt.
And that's the condemnation that we have, brothers and sisters. And this is the flow, how we going to end that class. After the Most High pull you up out that fire, come and get you from all of that wickedness, we got every temptation, man, to look back and go right back to the same position that we was in.
Teach.
Put a one in the chat, brothers and sisters, if you ever done that before, man. You know, you done pitched your tent, man, and you saw yourself, you fell and you did wrong, and the Most High sent those messengers and angels, and the Most High pulled you up out that fire. Now you on the other side walking toward Jerusalem. And verse 17 says, and it came to pass that when they had brought them forth abroad, and he said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And we escape, family, and then we start looking back. See, we in the book of Luke chapter 17 in verse 20. See, we talking about Lot. See, we talking about Lot's wife. See, we talking about the situation of fleeing destruction, and then we was already hesitant to leave. We was already hesitant to really jump out there. The Most High grabbed us and told you to walk out on faith. Now you on the other side. The destruction is past you. But those thoughts start to creep up of your past life. And those ways start to creep up of those past iniquities. You've been living there for so long, man. That's the only thing that you resonate with. Now you want to go back to it. Some of us, we dwelt in the land of anger. Some of us, we dwelt in the land of poor decision making. Some of us, we dwelt in the land of jealousy. Some of us, we dwelt in the land of adultery. Hands shedding innocent blood, feet be swift to running in mischief, tongues full of lying. Whatever land that you found yourself dwelling in, and the Most High gave you the tools and the nourishment to get you to escape from that land, and you look back on the land trying to go back. And that's a tough one there. That's a tough one. Because it feels so good, man. It's these things that you harmonize with. It's these things that your spirit filled with. It's these things that, you know, the Most High you being familiar with. And look at Lot. Look at Lot's wife. She looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. We in the book of Luke 17:20. Read this.
And when he was demanded of the Pharisees.
When he was demanded of the Pharisees. Read.
When the kingdom of God to come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation.
See, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Read.
Neither shall they say, lo here.
Neither shall they say, lo here. Read.
Or lo there.
Lo there. Read.
For, behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
The kingdom is within. Read.
And he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it.
Jump down to verse 26.
Verse 26.
Read.
And as it was in the days of Noah.
Just as in the days of Noah. Read.
So shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
So shall it be within the days of the Son of Man, the resurrection. Read.
They did eat.
They did eat. Read.
They drank.
They drunk. Read.
They married wives.
Married wives. Read.
They were given in marriage.
Given in marriage. Read.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Keep reading.
Likewise.
Read.
Also it was in the days of Lot.
Same thing within the days of Lot. Read.
They did eat.
They did eat. Read.
They drank.
They drank. Read.
They bought.
They bought. Read.
They sold.
They sold. Read.
They planted.
They planted. Read.
They built.
They builded. Read.
But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom.
But then the same day that Lot escaped out of Sodom with his family. Read.
It rained fire and brimstone from heaven.
It rained fire and brimstone from heaven. Read.
And destroyed them all.
And destroyed all of the wickedness out of the land. Read.
Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day.
Now understand, family, in that day, read.
He which shall be upon the housetop.
The ones that sit upon the housetops and the mountaintops, the ones that reside, read.
And his stuff in his house.
And the ones that come within his house with his stuff, read.
Let not come down to take it away.
Don't come down and take those things away. Let them be gone, read.
And he that is in the field.
And the ones that's in the field, read.
Let him likewise not return back.
Don't return back to the field to where the Lord said to leave from, read.
Remember Lot's wife.
What did he say?
Remember Lot's wife.
What did he say?
Remember Lot's wife.
Remember Lot's wife, man. You've been pulled out of the midst of the fire. Return not back to it.
Oh, praise.
You've been saved from unrighteousness and destruction. Don't think about it. You've been taken away from the field into the land that's with milk and honey. Remember Lot's wife. Read. Verse 33.
Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it.
Whosoever shall return back to his old life shall eventually lose his life. Read.
And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall preserve it. Read.
I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed, and the one shall be taken, and the other shall be left.
We in the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 39. See, we talking about Lot. We talking about Lot, wife, brothers and sisters. Don't hesitate to look back. I know that it's calling you. I know the serpent is on your shoulder beguiling you. I understand that when you look up in your eyes, man, and then when you see Egypt again, it may look like the Garden of Eden.
Man.
Plenty of waters.
Teach.
Great buildings. Great opportunities. Looks plentiful. Remember Lot, the wife, and turn not back. See, the one man that lose his life, that's the one that's going to find it. But the one that's trying to find his life in his old life, that's the one that's going to lose it. Remember Lot's wife. Remember Lot's situation. Don't separate yourself from righteousness. Cleave unto righteousness. Don't tarry to follow the Lord. You make no tarrying to follow the Lord. You see the condemnation between Lot herdsman and Abraham herdsman. You see, Abraham herdsman represents their righteousness. It represents that obedience. You see, Lot, man, he pitched tent in Sodom. So there's consequences. And you'll become one with Sodom. You'll become one with Egypt. You'll marry Egypt. You'll be marrying, giving off into marrying. You'll buy the lies of Sodom. You'll sell the lies of Sodom. You'll buy and you'll sell. And it may become one. Two may become one flesh. And the Most High is showing you that you need to repent. You need to change your ways. You need to stop doing those things. You need to turn back to the Most High and the Son. Flee from those things. You see, if you continue in those ways, you're going to be destroyed. And you find yourself can't even turn to the Most High and the Son. You've been living in Babylon all this time, and the Lord still loves you. He still got mercy upon you. And he'll pull you up out that fire anyway. Now you're on the other side of the Most High and his Son, and we got the urge to look back. And it's a strong urge, isn't it, brothers and sisters? Put it in the chat. How strong is that urge, man? How strong that urge is to look back. And when you're talking about looking back, it means that you're grieving what God already judged.
Break it out.
Looking back, biblically, it stands for longing for your former identity. Right? So Abram had to leave the land of Ur and the Chaldeans. Abram couldn't look back to the land of the Chaldeans. Keep pushing forward. Looking back, it represents resisting transformation, resisting the ascension, resisting initiation. And ultimately, looking back means valuing the flesh or valuing the past more than the promises that the Most High has put for you. You see, her body moved forward. We're talking about Lot's wife, but in her heart, she turned back. And that's the thing that we have to find ourselves and we have to defeat in this walk and in this truth. Brothers and sisters, you're Hebrews now, your tribe of Judah, your tribe of Dan. You have your new identity, but most of us are still walking around in Babylon.
That's right.
You've been pulled out of the fire. You've been separated from the destruction that's out there in this world. The unrighteousness where God is bringing fire and brimstone. Why look back? Why marinate? Why mesmerize? Why meditate? Why have these thoughts creeping up? Why deal with the serpent that's beguiling you, telling you that the trees is good to eat? When the Lord already ordered your footsteps and gave you the blessings to make you walk forward in the path. Remember Lot's wife, to not look back. Remember that temptation. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You already been pulled out that fire, so why are you trying to go back? You've been divorced from unrighteousness. Why are you trying to marry again? You've been pulled out of darkness into his marvelous light. Why go back to sleep again? You've been resurrected from the dead. Why be put in the dirt again? See, we're talking about a lot. And this resonates with all of us Hebrews. For sure. And that's why you got to get pens and pads and start to write these stuff down, man. And, you know, all of these characters, these are scriptures, right? A scripture is a script. And these scripts were prepared for us for our knowledge and for our learning and for us to use the knowledge thereof and use them to be able to ascend unto the gods. Matthew 10 and 39, read this.
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
And this is what Christ is talking about. Matter of fact, jump up to verse 38.
Verse 38.
Read.
And he that taketh not his cross.
He that taketh not his cross and continues to separate himself from darkness. Read.
And followeth after me.
If he take not his cross and continue to jump over and jump out on faith. Read.
Is not worthy of me.
He's going to continue to look back into his former life. Read.
He that findeth his life shall lose.
See, when you find your life, when you find your life in Christ, when you find your light in Christ, when you find your reasoning in Christ, when you find your morals in Christ, then you'll lose that life that you used to live in Sodom and Gomorrah. Read.
And he that loses his life for my sake.
See, when you lose that life that you used to live in, when you pitch your tent in Sodom and now you pitch it in the land of Canaan toward Jerusalem, he that loses his life for my name's sake shall find his life. Find your life, brothers and sisters. We're in the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 39. We're talking about Lot. We're talking about Lot's wife. We're talking about the condemnations between the herdsmen, between Lot herdsmen and Abraham herdsmen. We're talking about pitching tent in Canaan, or we're talking about pitching tent in Sodom. Wherever you want to use yourself servants to, you servants, that's who you is to obey. Whether it's unto sin and righteousness or whether it's unto life and obedience. And that's what we teach. This is a spiritual movement beyond the traditions, beyond the rituals, beyond the ceremonies, beyond the gatherings, beyond the congregations, beyond the fellowships, beyond the assemblies. The kingdom of heaven is within. And you have to press forward toward the kingdom of heaven. We in the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 39. Read this.
To whom our fathers would not obey.
See, we're talking about Moses, who our fathers would not obey in the wilderness. Read.
But thrust him from them.
But then thrust him from them as Lot thrust Abram from him. Read.
And in their hearts.
And in their hearts and in their minds and in their spirits. Read.
Turn back again into Egypt.
We in the book of Numbers chapter 11 and verse 5. You see Lot's wife, man, did everything and she turned back. You see the children of Israel, they thrust away Moses from them. And in their minds, they turned back into Egypt. No. We continue to press forward. And we learn from these stories. We learn from the scriptures for our knowledge and our wisdom to continue to let these things sit within our spirit to add spiritual maturity, to add spiritual growth, so we can find ourselves worthy, a ram without blemish, a white robe, dressed, adorned bride, ready for the bridegroom. Numbers 11 and 5. Read this.
We remember the fish.
Start at verse 4.
Verse 4.
Read.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting.
And sometimes, man, this is the thing when you remember Lot's wife, when you remember Lot being scared to being pushed forward, we find ourselves sometimes lusting. Read.
And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
The flesh we remember eating, the sin. How should we not abide in that anymore? Read.
We remember the fish.
See, we start to remember our old lives in the fish. Read.
Which we did eat in Egypt freely.
See, we ate these things freely in Egypt. I want that back. Read.
The cucumber.
The cucumber is how it made our bodies feel. We want that back. Read.
The melons.
And the melons and the knowledge, we want ourselves to be brought up in the ways of the Egyptians in Sodom and Gomorrah. We want that back. Read.
And the leeks.
And the leeks. Read.
And the onions.
And the onions. Read.
And the garlic.
And the garlic. Read.
But now our soul is dried away.
Now our soul is famished away. We wanting these things, the old ways of life, wanting to go back and pitch our tent to where we want. Read.
There's nothing at all.
There's nothing at all. Read.
Beside this manna before our eyes.
We in the book of Colossians 3:1, and we're going to finish off on Philippians 3:13, and we out. You see, we talking about Lot. It is very important that you understand Lot. You see, this is a very, very powerful character in the Bible that shows us that we were born with the Most High in the Son. We got separated from the Word. We got separated from righteousness, got separated from the Spirit, chose our own path to pitch our tent in unrighteousness according to our own sight and not according to faith. Judgment came up after that, brothers and sisters, and the warning of the Most High and His Son. We still had that zeal that's within us, but then when it was time for us to go and to make haste, we find our foot in quicksand and we couldn't make that move. So the Most High grabbed us. He loved us so much. The Most High grabbed us. The Most High showed us so much mercy. He still pulled us up out that fire. And even when He pulled us up out that fire, that serpent coming, talking to you again, making you wanting the leeks and the cucumbers and the onions of Egypt and of Babylon to make you look back. But he that loseth his life shall find his life, and he that tries to find his life shall lose his life. See, the Most High wants you to put all of those burdens upon Him so you can be free indeed, so you can practice the fruits of the Spirit, full of love, full of joy, full of happiness, full of long suffering, bearing one another's burdens, doing the right thing at that is righteous unto you, loving the Most High and the Son with all your heart and soul. And ultimately, not getting your foot stuck in the quicksand, but jumping out on faith all the way on the Most High and the Son and pressing forth toward the kingdom. Beautiful, beautiful story. Beautiful allegory a lot. And when you read about Lot in biblical character, it's like real short. Lot not everywhere in the Bible. It's like Genesis 12, 13, 14, and then he disappear until Genesis 18, 19, and Genesis 20 goes into Abimelech. And then you get few here and there. Even though that it's very short, even though that these parables are very short, they're so monumental in your spiritual development, in your spiritual knowledge, in your spiritual understanding, so you may be able to tap into these situations and use them for the betterment of your life.
That's right.
This is what it's all about.
That's right.
We in the book of Colossians 3:1. Read this.
If ye then be risen with Christ.
See, when you understand you've been pulled up out that fire, now you have been risen with Christ. There is no reason for you to look back. Read.
Seek those things which are above.
See, those things, and when you look back in the life that you used to live, those things was up on the earth. Those things are earthly. Now that you've been pulled up out of that fire, now that you've removed yourself and pitched your tent in Canaan toward Jerusalem, you set those things which those things are above. Read.
Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God.
And where Christ sitteth upon the right hand of God. Read.
Set your affection on things above.
Set your affections again on things above. Read.
Not on things of the earth.
You don't set your affections on earthly things. Read.
For you are dead.
So you are dead from your old works and your old life and your life of unrighteousness and where you pitched your tent. Read.
And your life is hid with Christ in God.
And now you are alive through the life of Christ in God. Read.
When
Christ, read.
Who is your life.
Who is your resurrection. Read.
Shall appear.
Shall shine within your life. Read.
Then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
Then you will resurrect and leave and flee Babylon and flee Jerusalem and flee Sodom and rest with him in appearing glory. Read.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
See, those things that are behind you, mortify those things that are upon the earth, that are sensual, that are fleshly, that are devilish. Read. Fornication, mortify those things. Read. Uncleanness, mortify those things. Read.
Inordinate
affection, mortify those things. Read. Evil concupiscence, mortify. Read.
And
covetousness, those things that we lived in our past life. Read.
Which is idolatry.
Which is witchcraft. Read.
For which things saith the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
Fire and brimstone rain on the children of God who partake in those things. Read.
In the which ye also walked sometimes.
See, and sometimes we did walk in those things in our old life to which we continue to look back. We didn't want to jump off all the way. We tarried a little bit. We hesitated a little bit. We're supposed to flee and run to righteousness. And we did live in those things sometimes. Read.
When ye lived in them.
When we lived in those things. Read.
But now, ye also put off all these.
See, now we have fleed from these things. Read.
Anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
Read verse 10.
And have put on the new man.
Have put on the new man. Read.
Which is renewed in knowledge.
Renewed in knowledge and spirit. Read.
After the image of him that created him.
After the image of him that created him, our Father. Read.
Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
We finishing off, brothers and sisters. We in the book of Genesis chapter 19, and we're going to finish it out. And what I advise you to do is, brothers and sisters, read this again, open up your book again, watch the class again. Beautiful. But Lot, verse 26, but his wife looked back from behind him, and he became a pillar of salt. And I'll read it out. Verse 27, and Abram got up early in the morning to set in the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as a smoke in the furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst to overthrow. When he overthrew the cities in the land where Lot dwelt in. All praise to the Most High and His Son, family. Great class tonight. Lot, a righteous man who chose the wrong foundation, looking back on the pleasures of sin. Shalom, family.